Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving no glory and no praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash, the beloved to the apostles of great news who do well. And peace and blessing and to Yakim in the four corners of the earth and who push and teach this word in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Arab once again to another lesson. Alright, world events and prophecies. Alright, so this is why we are here to watch. Alright, what's taking place in the world, all right, because we are the watchmen of the house of Israel, and we ought to watch because dangers are ahead, all right, Jacob's trouble, all right, World War III, and the mandatory of the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So we are the watchmen of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and watching over the house of Israel, all right, for the Lord himself, all right. So we out here to prophesy or say before certain things happen, all right, according to the scriptures, all right. So I have a little clip here, all right. I have a little clip here from a previous video I did, a couple months back, concerning Ghana and Venezuela. And I said something in this video here that, clearly shows that we are going to be the hub or the next military base, all right, because we know the U.S. want to go in Venezuela for that black oil, all right, I mean the black gold, I should say it that way, all right, the black gold, all right, they want to go into Venezuela for that black gold bad, all right, knowing that Venezuela, military, there's nothing to play with, all right. So before I go into what it is I already want to say, let's assure you that our government, all right, is being controlled and manipulated by the US government, all right, because we could clearly see now the former administration, which is the PNM, all right, they was playing the ball game, all right, they was playing the ball game all along between the US and Venezuela because they know next door they have their shit. The military have their shit. We don't have a military here. We have an army. Alright? A boot camp. And put it in that way because our soldiers like flashy thing. We have toy soldiers over here. Alright? I'm not saying that we are serious. We have men that train under the US and everything and the Marines. But most of them is toy soldiers compared to the Venezuelans. All right, the Venezuelan military. All right, they have a navy military. All right, we only have the Air Guard, Coast Guard, and the Army. But what we could show for that? But knowing that this whole situation here is going to escalate. All right, we can say what they want, but all this is being controlled by the U.S. government. All that we see taking place, and first and foremost, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the God that who you ignorantly call God, the true name is Yahweh, and his son, who the world ignorantly call Jesus Christ, his true name is Yahushai. They are the ones that controlling everything. They are the ones that muster it. Alright? The ones that muster it. The hosts, the armies. All right. So what we see taking place here between Guyana and Venezuela, that is a brewing pot. Now you have something extreme. But before I go into that, I want to play this small clip here.
First video concerning this, brewing war, all right, that is, looking to be very active very soon, right next door to us between Venezuela and Guyana. All right, I did a video concerning that some couple months back, and stating that, when the heads of CARICOM came to bring peace between Guyana and Venezuela, Maduro, all right, was all playing the game to see, who really down for Venezuela, knowing that the land is owned to Venezuela, and, just trying to, to see if, who really has Venezuela back. And Maduro is a smart person, knowing that he just playing the ball game, knowing that one day he's gonna strike. He's gonna strike at Guyana, and I mentioned that in my previous video some couple months ago, and everything just come quietly in here. Nothing about it on the media, going through the news. Alright, so this is one of the old videos, we'll just skip through it, just to show you that this is when Venezuela make the move on Guyana. Alright, this Guyanese president, his military personnel, and I think this is his Minister of Defense or something. Alright, but and seeing that, he is quaking in his boots because it's next door, knowing that Russia is allies with Venezuela, and the Guyanese, is allies with America. So it says enemies on both sides, alright? Enemies on both sides, vice versa, alright? So this is a serious war, as I mentioned, that Trinidad is in the middle, alright? And we are the hub for the US troops to come to attack Venezuela if they make any attempt to attack Guyana.
I think I will leave it right there. Stick a pin in that. No. What I just said there is the exact thing that is happening, because we start to see US helicopters, we start to see US planes, a lot of things is happening that the country don't know about. Certain people still asleep. Some people will see the Black Hawk helicopters, the US helicopters, and they're just doing a drill, whatever the case is, or probably, just amazed to see a US helicopter, not knowing what is taking place around them, not being circumspect. Alright? But little do we know, I had a dream concerning the invasion of this country. I think I did a video on it. I will look for that video and do a video on it as well. That on the hills where I live, there's some pines where you can come through the northern side, northwest, alright? Where you could go through the hills and end up in Macquarie, which is Shagarama's side, right? Down to the military base down on that side. But watching on the mountains, I saw a lot of people, a crowd of people, all right? Big mass that's running through the hills. Coming. They just coming because I most believe is like the defense force was chasing after them, but yet still it had military personnel with them as well, coming through the hills. And I think it was a Russian helicopter was coming, flying over, and boom, a US fighter jet shoot it down. And it crashed on the mountains and wherever the case, and people was bawling and screaming. And the Venezuelans was invading people's homes, scrambling for food, whatever it is they have, and really putting people to death and taking what they have, because it was for survival to the fittest. All right, kill or be killed. And that whole dream was so scary. I cannot really remember. Remember the dream after that. What take place after that in the dream, but we clearly seen what is taking place in reality. All right, this thing looking like it will come to pass. All right, because the scripture say, "A young man and young woman shall have dreams, all right, and visions," and we can clearly see what is brewing right now in the Caribbean between Guyana and Venezuela. Now we reach home, where this article was posted. All right, it reads: Venezuela wants TNT after PM Kamala's response. The Venezuelan government has issued a warning to Trinidad, right, accusing Prime Minister Kamala Besar of an angry and unjustified response to its concern about alleged terrorist elements, right, originating in Trinidad. All right, this could be all, Russian intelligence as well. You understand? Maduro wouldn't come out and say something like that just like that. We know that they want to take over this place as well, because it's too close to home for the US to be around, all right? For the US to come and make a military base here. It's too close to home. So it's all the kind of allegations go pop up, to bring conflict, all right? And he's so crafty. He's going to push all kind of things just to come here, all right? Although they could come. Who knows what this ping pong head former prime minister, he and this next Rasta don't see head sign, all right? Some declaration with the US military. Who knows what they sign? And that fly over a lot of people's head. Some people pick up on it, but some people they know what take place there. We don't know where they sign. All right? I'm going to finish it off here. So officials in Caracas say the Prime Minister remarks may escalate tensions between two nations. All right? Between the two nations. And she stand with she word. Because why she believed that, our Prime Minister believed that we will have backup with the US military, all right, the Trump administration, trust not thy enemy, all right? But at the end of the day, prophecy had to fulfill, all right? So bring it on, all right? Let the prophecies roll out. You understand? Let the prophecies roll out. And a lot of people going to cry out for peace. Right now, see what, right now, it's just war in the four corners of the world right now. War. As the scripture say, I'm going to bring it out in Revelations. Right? As the scripture say, I let the scripture speak. Alright, the Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14, it says, the second woe is past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And when it says woe, it means war. Alright? War cometh quickly. We see it taking place in Ukraine with Russia. We see what it is taking place right now with France and Europe coming together to hold drills, alright, against Russia, alright, to fight against Russia. And this is going to escalate. So it brewing in the Middle East, alright, and it also brewing in the Caribbean, because they just hold a lot of drills with the military. The US hold a lot of drills with the Trinidad I wouldn't say military, Trinidad Army and the other defense force military in the Caribbean. Alright, the hell, I think it was with Barbados and some other countries, St. Kitts or something. Can't remember. But they're saying they held some exercises as well. Alright, some brothers post the article as well. You know, seeing what is taking place. Right? But at the end of the day, people need to keep our eyes open. And we as the watchmen, you know, we watching, all right? Giving you people warning. Not from us, but from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday I spoke to two Jehovah's Witnesses, and I believe I asked them, I say, well, I believe it have a third world war. They still don't believe that they're gonna have a third world war. So that is to show how these people are asleep, walking zombies all over the place. And 2/3 of our people the same way. They not studying, you know, they studying all kind of shit. Right? Boat ride and football. And they tune in themselves into this thing. But I mean, I play the sport, yeah, but I'm not tuned in to the football and the football talk, and that'll profit me. That ain't profiting me. My job is if I can do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and keep watch of the house of Israel. So why is they talking that shit I watching? You understand? But at the end of the day, this article, we're gonna see more of this. Alright? Coming to our media houses, alright, or newspapers. Maduro is not somebody to play with. We don't have a military here. We have an army. Alright? We have an army, some toy soldiers. Alright? That train with the US. Nothing compare to Venezuela military, which is greatly outnumbered each and every one in this country here. You understand? I think they're the third largest, if I wrong, I'm not correct me. Third largest military, or the fifth. Somebody, the third or the fourth or the fifth. Somebody. I'll go look it up and correct it. But Venezuela is not a mess with. And this statement that our Prime Minister broadcast is something that was ordained. She got wax from the US government well. So she talk with pride. But she know better than that. But she believed that, she had backup from the US, so she could talk like that. You understand? Not doing like a pay a country in hot water. Bring us into this whole thing. Alright, so I do too much of talking. I just want to bring one more precept. I will bring Jeremiah, book of Jeremiah. Alright, a lot of people crying out for peace right now. It's not the time for peace. It's the time of war. Alright? What the hell I write down here? For the... Oh, let me take off this shit. Alright? I said Jeremiah 6 and verse 14. They have held also the hurt of the daughter of my people, slightly saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. There's no peace gonna come to this world. Alright? But death and destruction is coming to this world. Alright? Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, coming to cleanse the land. Alright? To fulfill all his prophecies, his word shall not go back to him void. Alright? So right now, a lot of people will be born in peace, peace, but there shall be no peace. This is going to escalate at a different level. This is going to bring unrest. This is going to bring, the crashing of the whole economy for them to enforce the new, peace system. Alright? Where they're going to digitalize, which they already did, with currency. Alright? This is where we're going to be tried with Jacob's trouble is going to come. Alright? I'll bring one more precept. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 3. Here it reads, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, they shall not escape. You understand? They shall not escape. And this is really talking about Babylon, aka America. Alright? When they shall say peace and safety. But also twofold. Because nations are gathering together, alright, which is the allies. The same are going on with France and Europe, Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, alright. They're gathering together for war. The Euphrates River already dried up. You understand? The stage is already set. You understand? And when they look for peace, then they will then It says, so when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. You understand? And this is not a time of peace, it's a time of war. Alright? In order to bring peace, it had a war. In order to know the truth, it must have a lie. You understand? So, this is what taking place here. Alright? That's what I said. I'm going to do a little video on it. Alright? That's not it. Alright? And this whole scene with Venezuela and Guyana, that is still brewing. Alright? That is still brewing. That ain't done yet. Just we not as Maduro making move as yet. Because on the right and on the left, there's two US allies. You understand? And in the midst. So Maduro is gonna make his move. Trust me. Maduro is gonna make his move. You know? And I mean, there's a prophecy fulfillment. Alright, so with that, you know, Hopeless Lesson was edifying, you know. Stating that, you know, let's touching on the things of what is taking place in the world. Alright, prophecies and world events. Alright, so with that, I just want to give a glory and all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Kakadash, double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. And this is Brother Rab once again with another lesson saying Shalom. And to you, what's I listening in silence, Shalom. Till next time, signing out, Shalom.